Many years ago, in the 1980s, my friends and I established a small school for our children in which they could safely learn reading, writing and mathematics under the glow and guidance of Vaishnavism. Jagat Guru asked if we were recounting to the children stories of the great devotees in this extraordinary Gaudiya disciplic succession. In this light, I will post short presentations on the lives of some of the stalwart Vaishnavas. Growing up nowadays in the world of social media, our children, as well as adults, are continually assaulted with materialists who even call themselves influencers. But we can choose to be influenced by the devotees. I will begin this series with Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a 19th century Vaishnava giant. He is an extraordinary spiritual master in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. If you look at his history, despite many of his family members dying from cholera when he was a young man, his lifelong poor health, his raising a family of 13 children, his sometimes working 2 jobs at a time, and his becoming a renowned deputy magistrate. But his most valuable garland was his humility and service to Sri Krishna, and in particular his absolute determination that Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement would leave the shores of India and spread to every town and village on this planet. Bhaktivinoda Thakur would rise at 1 a.m. every morning. He would write, and after breakfast he would begin a full day of work as a deputy magistrate. So despite the short amount of sleep and long hours of work, he wrote 100 books, and during his postings in Jagannath Puri as the deputy magistrate, he also took responsibility for managing the Jagannath temple. This was an enormous task, even for a person for whom this was their sole responsibility. Bhaktivinoda Thakur managed thousands of temple pujaris, cooks, and other temple workers, all with their daily problems. But it is from the statements made by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada that we can begin to appreciate Bhaktivinoda Thakur's spiritual qualities. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was called the 7th Goswami. The reason being that the 6 Goswamis had been empowered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for 4 main tasks. 1. Rediscovering the holy places, especially in Vrindavan, as they had become lost in time. Excavate and resurrect these places. 2. Establish deities in several places. 3. Write various scriptures with shastric evidence, guidelines for establishing one's relationship with Krishna and the pastimes of Krishna. And 4. Establishing Vaishnava behavior. Srinivasacharya, who was a disciple of Jiva Goswami, wrote 8 verses about these activities of the 6 Goswamis in his song Sad Goswami Astakam. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada famously sang that song. Here is a recording of him singing just the first verse, and I've also included on screen the English translation.
Krishna Kirtana Gana Natana Pano Premamritam Banidhi Dhira Dhira Jana Priyau प्रियकरौ निर्मत्सरौ पूजितौ श्रीचैतन्य कृपाभरौ भुवि भुव भारावहन्तारकौ वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुजगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ.
The Goswamis accomplished those 4 tasks in Vrindavan Dham. And one of the reasons Bhaktivinoda Thakur was described as the 7th Goswami was because he executed those same 4 tasks in Nadavweep Dham. When Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was nearly 50 years old, he resolved that he was going to quit his government job and just go to Vrindavan for the rest of his life. However, before that could happen, he had a dream one night in which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared to him and spoke, "You will certainly go to Vrindavan, but first there is some service you must perform in Nadavweep." Now, Nadavweep Dham, it is non-different to Vrindavan Dham. Vrindavan is described as Madhurya, very sweet. And Nadavweep Dham is described as Aldora, where sweetness is overflowing and being distributed. In Nadavweep Dham, Lord Chaitanya's birthplace had become lost with time. Its location was unknown, and many people speculated where it might be. But by divine vision, Bhaktivinoda Thakur rediscovered its exact spot. He also verified this with due diligence, maps, and empiric study. It could not be reputed on any level. But the jewel for him was when he brought his Siksha Guru, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, to the spot. Jagannath Das Babaji was called Vaishnava Sarabhoima, which means there is no one more senior on the planet than this Vaishnava. Jagannath Das Babaji immediately began chanting in great ecstasy when he came to that spot. He confirmed, "This is the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Yoga Pitha." Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur personally went door to door collecting funds to build a temple on the site. His venture was highly successful and a beautiful white temple was built there. On Gaura Purnima, a big festival was held to witness the installation of Gaura Vishnupriya deities at the Yoga Pitha. Now, after establishing that temple at this holy place, Bhaktivinoda Thakur consequently established other holy places related to Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also wrote 100 books establishing the glories and authenticity of the Gaudiya Sampradaya, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and the duties of a devotee. At that time in the 19th century, authorized Shastra had become practically lost. Vedic literature had become very rare. On June 23, 1914, just before noon, at Jagannath Puri, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Prabhupada left this world. Namaste.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.